Hello. It's day
Hello.
2.
Yes.
Like, we made it, kind of.
We made it through the first day. It was 9 hours of sheer bliss.
It's crazy to have to do it again, which is almost more exciting because now you start getting a little delirious and you have to push through and make it happen.
He was getting really delirious in the afternoon. I don't know if you guys were able to notice that, but I certainly noticed it behiand the camera.
Not till like 4 o'clock though. I thought I did pretty good. You know, it's like only 7 hours in.
He started asking for cocktails at 4. No, like 2.
11.
Yeah.
Okay, when we started, we didn't do the Bloody Marys, but we should have done the Bloody Marys.
It's Vegas, so we'll be doing shots periodically throughout today.
Shots.
I hope so, at least.
Something
What do you
like
think's
that.
in here?
It's not vodka. It's definitely water. I promise, Mom. So we are going to start off talking to Skye.
We are, because we're
Skye
live
knows-
here at the Arival event.
And Skye actually is an in-destination video content expert. I would say expert. Would you say expert? Or is that a word
I
you
would
don't
definitely
like to?
say expert.
That's awesome. We like experts around here.
Yeah, we only talk to experts
It's
here.
true. It's true. And so Skye has worked with destinations like Tahiti, Germany,
Yep.
and
Denmark,
and
Aruba.
Cabo. Was it Aruba and Cabo? Was it Cabo you said recently?
Yeah,
The other night?
I was just-
One of my favorite places.
I know. I was just there about 3 weeks ago now, and I was doing a VR series there for a client. So we got some really cool activities and hotels. We were staying at a hotel called the Hotel El Ganso, and they're really cool because they offer this great artist in residence program where you go there and there's actually an artist who's painting a mural on a wall while you're there, or there's a band who's performing for you, or recording a song in their underground studio. So that was really fascinating. Bands like Thievery Corporation have recorded there. They've got these great international artists, so we captured a little bit of that when we were there and did a series of 360 videos.
And that's something that Skye has really jumped into is 360 video
Yeah.
and VR. Skye, come back to the real world. Where are you going?
Yeah,
So-
this is a really cheap headset. This is the Samsung Gear VR. This is last year's version. There's a newer version out now that has some remote controls, so you can interact with various games and consoles, and
And they're getting cheaper. Like just
They're-
very, very affordable, which is going to change the game, I think, for a lot of the ways that people use this. Right?
Absolutely. Everything is now there's a lot more product out there, so there's not the scarcity that we used to have with VR. So even the cameras are getting cheaper. Samsung recently released their newest version of the Gear 360, and so that's going for around $200, $300.
Which is still a little expensive, right?
Not really, no, not for what you're getting. You're able to live stream from this camera, which is incredible. You're getting 4K resolution, and it's so small it can fit in your pocket. And so you can be ready to go. Say you're traveling and you don't want to carry around a bunch of gear, because I certainly don't. That's a huge factor for me, is I travel as lightly as possible. You can stick this in your pocket, in your purse, and say you see something amazing happening around you, all of a sudden you find yourself in a protest, say in Spain. You can just grab that, hit record, just live stream like we're doing right now to Facebook, to YouTube. It's a tremendous tool.
So for some of the brands that are watching, or people who work for brands like hotels, but also destinations, it sounds like if maybe that's something you could just offer guests in some ways, you know, if you wanted to, you know, because sometimes there's like camera packages or things that they have.
There are, yeah.
So what are your recommendations do you make to destinations or hotels or any brand that wants to try some of these new technologies, but maybe is a little scared or doesn't know where to start? How do you get that conversation started?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I would say these marketers need to just take the risk. They need to put themselves out there. You can dip your toes in the water by spending just a little bit of money just to do 1 or 2 videos. You can get branded Google Cardboards for super cheap now. I believe you can get cardboards for anywhere between $5 and $20, depending on like how customized you want to get. And those are so great to give out at events like this. You can put the QR code on the side, so people can scan the QR code, automatically brings you to the video that you want them to watch, and they can pop in any smartphone and watch your content right then and there. So rather than telling them about how cool an attraction is, they can actually be there experiencing the attraction and whet their appetite so that they will go for themselves.
And at a trade show, especially, if it is a supplier kind of based situation like this, or you're maybe at the New York Times Travel Show, or some of these huge consumer things where you want people to get a taste of the attraction. Like, for example, we're next to, we can't really show it over here, but we have a lava tour next to us.
Oh, yeah.
It's a boat tour that goes to the lava stream. And something like that, would be great in person. You never would replace it, but just to get a taste of it beyond just this 2D experience.
Absolutely, it's a great sales tool. And I think that you can also think of equipping your sales staff with something like this. This is cheap. This is $70 right now. It might even be cheaper. You just get a couple of these for your sales staff as they go out on their calls to meet with various clients, and they will be blown away. If you are among the first people to show someone a VR experience, like, you've already won. They're going to remember you, and that's important. Right now, you have to stand out in the marketplace. There's so much competition.
And then you have some of the very large tech companies like Amadeus, which is basically trialing a VR kind of booking window, literally a window into all the different options that you have, and you can kind of like scroll through your flights and start selecting. And at the first time I saw that, I thought maybe VR was in search of a problem. One of those things where you're just like, do I want to book a flight with VR goggles on? But then when you think about the process of booking a flight and the endless scrolling and the thinking of the time, and it doesn't always visually make sense in my head. So like when I saw this and it was just kind of like scrolling through and I was like, oh, I want this one. But what if you could like drag and drop like my destination over here and then see the fare update?
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes,
Minority Report.
Yeah, totally. Because sometimes when you book the departure, it's like $200. And then when you book the other hand, now it's like $500, because they're not the same. But if I could see that really quickly, what the mix would be, I could start building bundles. And then imagine if I could pull a car rental into it and visually see different bundles just on a screen.
And I know you're a very visual person, so that would work for you.
I would love to see a bundle instead of trying to like, I'll get a piece of paper and be like, okay, if I leave at this time, that kind of stuff still happens.
It's going to make our lives a lot more convenient, and we just need to get comfortable with it as soon as possible. Because it's here to stay. You have all the big players with skin in the game. You've got Facebook, you have Samsung. And in fact, speaking of Facebook, we had Oculus Connect this week. So Mark Zuckerberg announced a whole new range of products that in the VR space.
And for those who don't know, Facebook owns Oculus. Bought him several years ago for, was it $1 billion, I think? Yeah.
$1 billion, yeah. Palmer Luckey is a lucky man.
He is, yeah. Well, he's not there anymore, but
he's
that's
not,
a whole other story.
But he got the money.
Yeah, he did get the money.
That's what matters. But back to Facebook. So earlier this week, they did a cool live broadcast like we're doing today, except it was in Facebook Spaces. So it was in VR. But you didn't necessarily have to have a headset on to watch it, which I thought was really cool. So it kind of opens it up to basically everyone who has any sort of connection to the internet.
So some people might be in VR.
Some people might be.
And then you have a 2D experience for those who aren't.
Right,
and would those people who are in a 2D experience still have a visual representation of themselves in the room, or is that
no?
Is it okay?
No.
Okay.
So if you want a visual representation of yourself in the room, you'd have to actually be in a headset and be hooked up through Facebook Spaces. But for the whole world that's on Facebook, you can watch the live stream like you're going to watch a live stream of us on Facebook and comment and interact. But what I thought was so cool is that they were able to incorporate 360 video into the live stream. So you could see them grab these, the graphic was like a globe, right? So here's Mark Zuckerberg, he's grabbing this globe, he throws it into the middle of the frame, and all of a sudden this 360 video from San Juan, Puerto Rico is surrounding them. And you could see the devastation that was left from the hurricane. And they made this big announcement that they were working with Red Cross to help alleviate some of the issues there. So it was a really cool way to support a cause, to showcase 360 video, and showcase the power of VR and live streaming. So it's
like everything, every piece of emerging technology that is still,
so cool. I mean, it wasn't without its hiccups. There were a few awkward moments, as any new technology and emerging technology.
This live stream has never been awkward.
No,
the past 2 days.
Never.
We have been so not awkward.
No mistakes. We're good like that.
This is my specialty, not to be awkward.
I've noticed that about you.
Not an awkward person.
Totally. But the other thing is, think about live streamings too as a really powerful sales tool as well. There's so much information that you can get out to a massive amount of people, and also if you have anything very time worthy that's maybe happening once a year, you can promote your various events, and it's a great tool to have. So
and things change so much, I think a lot of times with video especially, you spend a lot of money doing a video, right? It's 10K for this, 20K for that, whatever it is, and then next thing you know, I don't know, there's a new attraction next to you, or you've renovated some rooms, or your room types are different, or you rebrand simply, and then all of a sudden you have to keep doing it again. So it's kind of an interesting challenge.
It's an interesting challenge, and then you've got this live streaming that just allows you to be in the moment, right here, right now. You're capturing what is relevant.
Like this robot.
This robot is super relevant. He's timeless.
He actually is timeless, and this cheesy plastic slot machine, not timeless.
It's not, but
but I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, we needed something for the space.
So if you're always going to be investing in content and always pushing towards doing these new things, how can I make sure that my boss is happy with that? How do you help the kind of middle managers kind of push it up the chain and make sure you get that budget approval?
You have to get your boss excited. You need to get them on board. The most important thing is wowing them with the product from the get-go. Once you have their buy-in and once you show them what the potential is, then you're going to be able to deliver a great product. So you need to get them on board from the very beginning and get them psyched from the very beginning. And also let them have a little bit of creative input and do these check-ins, these benchmark check-ins along the way, just making sure that the product is in line with their expectations.
I think we should emphasize that. That's a really important point, right? Setting expectations, managing expectations, but also making sure that you do hit those milestones and share as you go. Because the worst thing could be is if someone is paying you $20K to deliver this product and you just do it all and then give it to them, and it's not what they expected.
They need to be involved throughout the process. Right. Absolutely.
But imagine not too much though, right? It's always a balance.
That's the balance,
you don't want to be, micromanaged because the creativity can go out. But that input,
Yeah, before you offer the deliverables, you schedule those check-ins. We'll have a check-in at the beginning of post-production. In the middle, you'll have 2 rounds of revisions, whatever it is, just very clear and upfront. Get them excited, keep them excited, deliver what you promised, and then some. I always like to go just a little bit beyond what I've promised because I want them to just be wowed from the beginning, throughout the process, and at the end.
Well, let's show, we have a clip queued up, right? So why don't you set up this clip real quick? I think we have about like 5 more minutes or so. So let's queue up the clip and then let's show the viewers the clip.
Okay, cool. Well, do we want to do something like funny and cute, or do we want to do something serious and like make you cry a little?
So that's like 2 parts of my personality.
Yeah,
that's kind of it's like which side will I be today? I'm feeling funny and cute.
Okay, funny and cute.
Let's go there.
All right, so then this will be the Museum of Ice Cream clip. So a collaborator.
Museum of Ice Cream. Now go for it. Sorry, that's wild. Is the ice cream just like moldy and it's sitting in a, like, that's how it sounds like Museum of Ice Cream.
It's a lot more fun than it sounds. So actually this attraction started in New York. They had such rave reviews. I call this like an Instagram attraction. It's basically built for Instagram. So people are going there to take photos with colorful stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad I didn't swear there.
Yeah.
And because of its popularity, it came to LA where I'm based. So I grabbed one of my collaborators. We went out, we shot this video for Culture Trip. And currently right now, the Museum of Ice Cream has opened in San Francisco. So maybe it's coming to a city near you.
It's permanent in each of the cities, or is it moving?
Oh,
so these are like outposts, or?
It is. It's a temporary pop-up. And it is in huge demand. It's really hard to get a ticket just because everyone wants to go. Who doesn't love ice cream?
Yeah.
And who doesn't love taking awesome photos for Instagram?
And if you can't go, that's what this video is for, right?
Yeah, so let's play the video.
Let's show the video.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Joan Jetsetter with Culture Trip. I'm here with my friend Mindy Jones.
Hi.
And together we're checking out Los Angeles' brand new Museum of Ice Cream. Are you a fan of ice cream as much as I am?
Yes.
Prove it.
up those phones.
Thank you.
This is crazy. It's 4:20 right now. How is this happening?
We've been chosen for an extra special ice cream mission.
Count of 3, scream your favorite flavor. 1, 2, 3. Mint chocolate chip!
Vanilla! Wait, nobody else scream. Bye!
Maryland Mint Bro, Conan O'Brien.
Fresh pint of Bel Air. I wasn't really sure how I'd feel about the banana, but it is so good. Just throw some salted caramel on there. We got a date. Does anybody have just like a banana? I'm just like starving.
Welcome to the Mint Chocolate Chip Grow House. Here we have real mint plants growing in real cacao. Come and have a smell. We're trying to create our own variant of mint that has that inborn chocolate taste. Would you like some? I have some mochi for you.
Yeah. Are you single?
Would you like some mochi?
Oh my god.
This guy's like the mochi prince.
You're gonna love this. Wasn't this your favorite kind of ice cream?
Yeah, dog.
Oh my god, you're gonna die. Wow. This is the best place on earth.
I'm having a midlife crisis. What do we have here? Sherbet. It's sherbet. It's like
It is sherbet.
Is it sherbet or sherbet?
It's actually sherbet, but my whole life I've been saying sherbet.
I've been saying sherbet.
my whole life.
Really, it wasn't until last year that I realized that I had been spelling it wrong and saying it wrong.
Yeah, all of us have.
I'm still gonna say sherbet, actually.
I too.
I'm a rebel.
Rainbow sherbet. Shirt. Skye, can you tell me this? Is this the same museum that's in New York?
Oh, that's a great question there, Mindy. Actually, this museum was in New York, but it was a temporary exhibit. It's now opening in Los Angeles, and rumor on the street is that it'll be in other cities this year and next year.
That is some hot gossip. Wait, hot. I'm trying to make a pun, but I can't think of it yet.
Cold
That is-
gossip?
Well, that is so interesting. Thank you for that information. That's so mint-interesting. It's very popsicle. That is so sprinkles thing. I am so bad at this.
Well, you know, Mindy, I was just trying to give you the scoop.
This is our Abel Benton installation, and this is his take on chaos and corruption on something innocent. He's a Peruvian artist, and he collaborated with us on this, so we are serving you guys black cookie dough to go along with the installation.
So this is gonna turn our teeth black.
Cheers.
Fat Kid Nation. I love cookie dough. Mom, how are you doing?
This is like, charcoal's like so good for you.
Oh yeah.
Basically like cleansing right now.
This is the new health trend in Los Angeles.
I'm literally dying.
Sprinkle pool rules. Blah 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 blah. Build things you dream of. That's the best rule right there.
I'm just gonna take a nap.
Fashionable holes in my jeans. You're not supposed to get the sprinkles in the holes in my jeans. Mindy, what do you think of this sprinkle bath? Is it amazing? It's amazing! How many sprinkles do you think's in the sprinkle pool right now?
Well, they're really small.
500 billion.
500 billion?
500 billion
That's your
sprinkles.
go-to number?
Yeah, I mean,
Alright, I'm gonna go 501 billion.
you would Price is
Bam.
Right me.
Price is right.
What?
What do we win?
Sprinkles in the face?
Ice cream! That was so much fun.
It was out of control. Thank you guys for joining us. We had a blast. Be sure to subscribe to Culture Trip for your weekly dose of travel, inspiration. Yes. We can finish each other's sandwiches.
Nope.
Sorry.
That didn't work.
Wow, so that was a 2D video, right? A flat or what do you like to say flat composition?
Yes, flat, and I'll tell you why. So flat composition video is the videos that you guys are used to seeing all of your lives in a rectangle, right? We live in a 360-degree world, right? And up until now, we've always had our entertainment delivered to us in a rectangle. So that's why I refer to those videos as flat composition. And then we have 2D videos, which is a part of 360 videos. You have just 2 dimensions, and then there's 3D 360 videos. And those videos are the kind that give you depth. So depth of field. You actually feel like you could reach out and grab something because you can see the depth. So there's a big difference there.
360 versus VR. I mean, 360, do you just move around, but you're static in one position as you look around? And then VR is basically you can move through the built environment? Or is 360 and VR kind of the same?
They're not the same, although the terms are used interchangeably quite often, but technically it's incorrect. And there will be more blurring of the two in the coming years. But yeah, as of right now, you can think of 360 videos as a passive experience, just like watching a flat composition video. And then a VR experience, you can actually interact with the content, which is super cool. But those are, super expensive in comparison to 360 videos. I mean, you're talking like $500,000 and up for an interactive experience right now, but that's soon to change because Facebook and other companies are coming out with cool new cameras that are going to allow you to explore the space in 360 degrees, untethered, and in this way we call 6 degrees of freedom. And that's never been done before in 360 video. Those cameras are coming out soon, and I can't wait to get my hands on them.
Sounds like it's cool. That would be a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So one last question. We kind of talked, about, VR can be very expensive, right? Immersive, however far you want it to go, you could create an entire world, and it could be $50, $100 million. I mean, you could go endlessly, right? You could make a world,
true.
But for our purposes in destination marketing and the 360, maybe light VR video, tell people at home kind of like, what range they can be expecting to pay to try to get some of this marketing in their portfolios.
Yeah, good question. I mean, it is such a range, and it really depends on the individual client, what their needs are, and really how far they want to take it. Because if you're looking at 3D stereoscopic, that gives you that depth of field and really immerses you, that's going to be a lot more expensive because the gear is so expensive, and the post-production is just ridiculous. You have these gigantic files, so you have to stitch the files, render the files, and then you're working with huge files. So the post is costly because it's lengthy, and then you're using cameras that could cost tens of thousands of dollars. So that's like the super high-end product, and that's something that could be like $100,000 and up. Or, if you find the right production company, maybe you can work out a deal. But if you're willing to do monoscopic, these 2D 360 videos, which I'm a super fan of, I think they're great, they're a lot more reasonable.
That's great. Well, so there you go. So it's not maybe out of reach. So something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, depending on your budget, if you've got just a little bit of a budget, just do one monoscopic 360 video, spend around 10K in that ballpark, and at least you'll have something to show, and that gets your foot in the door.
Great. Well, thanks for sharing this with everyone at home.
Yeah.
We're live in Las Vegas at the Link Hotel and Casino at the Arival event, and today's show is presented by Rezdy. We're going to be right back after word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with our next interview in a few minutes.